It is going well. It is going well. So, you are my only client this week. You are the only individual I'm connecting with in this manner before LA for the big
Mhm.
Conscious Life Expo. And I always know there's purpose in every space, right? So, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Do you see what we're doing? Like you found this alignment in this exact timing and I think there's a layer here that we may not be aware of fully, but we're being it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And your trip, where is this happening? Is it at like a center or?
It is at the LAX Hilton,
Mhm.
and it is, I've never been there before, but it's supposed to be right next to LAX Airport in Los Angeles. Yeah, so it's a really big space and a big deal, and I'm super excited about it. People say, "Are you nervous?" I say, "You know what? I'm more excited than anything."
Opportunity. Have you been to LA or?
I only flew in one time. It was a connection point, but I've never been there and stayed there and done anything there.
Oh wow, that's so exciting. Where are you like how many days will you be there?
I'll be there from Wednesday till Monday morning.
Mhm.
And the expo itself is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'll be busy with that those days. Thursday, kind of like a get settled in and set up the booth space. But
That is so exciting. You got to go to Air One while you're there. That's my favorite grocery store. It's the best. The best. The best. It's the best in the world. The best
oh,
grocery store.
oh
You know
my goodness.
Air One?
No,
Oh,
no.
you're gonna be like, oh my God, when you walk in. It's amazing. It's an expensive grocery store, but it's has everything like green juices and beautiful everything. They have like everything from wild salmon that's made to raw vegan desserts. It's a kind of like a fancy LA thing to do. But if you have time, go to Venice. That's my favorite. Venice Beach and Santa
Oh,
Monica. Really beautiful. There's a lot of spiritual connection in Venice Beach. I met an Egyptian
okay.
healer there. It's very beautiful there.
Oh my goodness. Well, this may be another reason why we connect before my trip because I just told my daughter yesterday, I was like, I just feel like I'm supposed to go somewhere, but I don't know where. And I looked at Venice and I looked at Santa Monica Pier and I looked at a couple other spaces that are just, like the ones that pop up if you're going to be in the area. So, but you like Venice.
And it's close to the airport, which is good. Like I stayed with the lady I work for, my boss. She lives in Venice, beautiful Airbnb she has. But she's in Sedona right now. But I stayed at her place, and it's right near the airport, Venice. It's not that far. I think it's like 20 minutes. So it's probably
Okay.
easier to get to Venice and Santa Monica. But I really love Venice Beach. It's a little bit hippie. It's a little bit hipster. But I like that, and there's lots of things going on. But then Santa Monica is more beautiful. So if you like more formal, Santa Monica is better. Downtown LA not as nice in my opinion, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. Thank you for that. All right. A1 grocery store in Venice Beach would be my best bets.
Air One, so it's like
Air, sorry.
like nowhere backwards, which is funny.
Oh, that's awesome. I
Right.
like that. That's cool. That's cool. All right, my friend, what's going on in your world?
Um, Everything's pretty good. Definitely a lot of sexual energy coming up. Like I feel like you can feel that or something, but just kind of definitely very antsy. I realized a lot about myself. Like I was talking to an astrology friend yesterday. We were trading readings, like she was just reading my chart. And she said a lot of things like I'm very impulsive. Like some days I wake up and I'm like, oh, I really just want to hit the road and pack up everything. I want to go to Florida. I want to go on a road trip or because my parents are down there. I want to go to LA. I have this impulsive energy sometimes.
Mhm.
Like right now, I'm trying to think, oh, do I book something to go in May so I can get away for a couple weeks? So I don't know what that is like trying to run away from my current duties or something. Or is there a sense of adventure that I need to do and not just stay in plain old New Jersey? Um,
Well, I did pick up on in your session yesterday, and I sent your notes just a few hours ago. There was a space with the sexual energy. I remember that. But I felt like, from what I remember, and I don't have your notes right in front of me, I felt like it was connected to an expansion of you and the way you process you in connection with sex. Like the way you have seen yourself or understood yourself in that space of you is, yes, no longer uh yes, accurate. Like your vibrational alignment of yourself in connection with sex is different than what it was.
Mm,
And then I understood it was like opening up. It was like more room, more more space to take a breath. So that might be coming in as you are feeling this amping of energy.
mhm,
So you're trying to balance yourself. So I think part of the amping of the energy intuitively right now in this moment
mhm,
is you expanding. It is you. It is that higher vibration coming in, that shift space, right? But we talked about this before, I believe, as well, that it can even be misinterpreted as anxiety, or it can be misinterpreted as, um, you know, feeling like you have to go out, you have to do something because you're just feeling like this
mhm,
frenetic energy. But what you're doing is you're giving yourself the opportunity uh, to register that you have various ways that you can process that energy. Okay. One way is sex. It is a way because it's a proven thing through science, medicine, spiritualism, religion. They all kind of talk about the way in which, when you engage in intimacy, there is a release of energy from the being. And that's why a lot of people also talk about being mindful of who you're releasing energy with, because as you are releasing, the other may be releasing as well. And that energy is then, quite available.
mhm,
So I think you're bringing yourself, I think this is why, even further back, if you want to go back months, whatever, weeks at least, I think you were asking yourself to look at this space a little more clearly,
mm,
um, with a little bit more neutrality,
mm,
less judgment, because judging yourself or others or the culture or any of that, that's not helpful. That's just a slower flow, right? We're looking for opening, we're looking for movement, we're looking for neutrality that is healthy. Okay. Uh, but I think you were preparing yourself because you understand, like inside your consciousness, your higher mind, you understand you are expanding. You understand you're processing higher flows of you. And it's not necessarily something that you can even gauge in a sense of saying at 3:30 on Friday, I'm going to have this massive space of me come in. Maybe, but for the most part, it's more like it's incremental and almost with breath and every step. And in some spaces, the body and the being are ready for more. And
mm,
in some spaces, the body and the being are not ready for anymore. They need a little break. But you gauge you, the body, the being, it knows what it's doing.
mm,
The mind, the mind is your mechanism of connective process. So, meaning the mind uh, plays a role in directing what the body and the being already know how to do if it gets placed into a space of itself with a little bit more power than it deserves,
mm, mm,
where we start letting the mind dictate, oh, this is me being overly active, and this is me, I should judge this because I should be doing, you know what I mean? Like it gets this ability to just really
yeah,
direct that energy to judgment, direct that energy to shame, direct that energy to fear.
yeah,
But it also has the ability to direct that energy to love and
mhm,
direct that energy to gratitude. So
mm,
I think you're bringing in more of you.
mm,
Your body's processing it. It's spiking, and then you're feeling like, I got to get out of here. I want to do something. I need to be busy. I think we talked about this last week, coming up with like go-to things that work for you that you feel really edified by and good by. Whether that's playing, your music,
Mhm.
writing music. I don't know if you do that. I do feel like you're supposed to be in the most non-judgmental, neutral way that is said, okay? Like with guidance, not with judgment. I do think you're supposed to be focusing your energy on healing music. So you're creating some type of healing music. That you can make available to the world that they can just connect with and get the increment they're ready for. Some people that will be relaxation and stress relief.
Wow.
And then there will be some people that will actually be physically healed by listening to your music,
Oh my God.
uh, by the frequency and the vibration of what you create. Okay. And then there will be some that will actually be activated. So they will listen to your music and they will have a moment of like conscious activation and they will be shifted in to a remembrance of themselves as divine in form, and they will be able to live from it. And they will no longer be cycling, trying to get there, trying to remember. They'll be in. So your pent up energy would be, or excited energy, whatever word you want to use, would be, yes, very powerful tool on your part if implemented as a mechanism that you allow yourself to feed off of, or yes, corral in a sense, or direct, yes, that flow into your creativity.
Mm,
Writing the music, playing the music, however you're doing this, producing all of it, whatever. That's one thing. But your whole thing about there's something else I have to tell you. The space where you say, am I just like an explorer and I like to get out and it's just natural and that's a good thing? Or am I running? My gut is you're an explorer. You have to listen to you, but I have that type of thing where I like to plan trips. I get it all of a sudden. I'm just like, I really just got to go here and I'd love to go over here. And I love my life. It's hard sometimes because I love everything that I do so very much, but I also love adventure. I love travel. I love new spaces. I love having that relaxation break space, even though I tend to bring my phone computer and keep working because I love it so much. But I think that's what you're doing. So I wouldn't judge it as you're trying to run away. Now, you are the one who has the be all end all say. So if you interpret differently, absolutely, we can look at that if this doesn't resonate that I've shared this far. But you
yeah.
have to read it in you.
Yeah, I agree that those two big points with it's not running away, it's just a sense of adventure and also not being so hard on myself. It's very Virgo to be, I'm like part Virgo, like very analytical of everything. Like
Mm.
too much emphasis on everything, right? It starts in the mind and then it processes through the body. So it's probably adding like a frequency to that. So I need to release that. So yes, I do need a sense of adventure. And that's what I'm trying to formulate now in my life, also like align with a higher timeline that where I can work more from my computer probably and just accept in-person work as a case by case, so I would love to go and just be in other places. I want to go to Mexico. I want to go all these places. Um, and
Okay,
then
I have to interrupt you. I'm so sorry, but you said you'd love to be able to work from your computer and everything. When I was seeing and speaking of the music you're going to make, yes, that's going to be an income that you can't even comprehend.
wow.
Yes, yes. You need to get it out there. Trust yourself. Make something, and then if you adapt as you go. Don't think yes. Don't like I have to have this type of recording booth, or I have to have this type of mic, or I have to have this type of programming, or whatever. Spirit's just basically saying, jump, trust, and where you'll learn as you go, you'll adapt as you go, and you don't have a problem with the jump. They know that. Um, you will jump. You will go. If you decide to go, you'll go. But it is beyond. Um, it's like a full time income on its own, that everything else you do could just be whatever you want to do.
Oh my God, so inspiring. I mean, you're the third person in the last few years to bring this up. So it's a definitely a sign I have to get going. It's just the setup that is I'm delaying. It's more so I'm gonna get like the mic and I'll just start there and just start experimenting. I have all of these musical ideas. Like when I was listening to one of your meditations the other day, I mean, one of the quantum healings, like just some, it sounded like a wooden flute. And I was like, I could do that. I could do that and then start harmonizing with it, and different things. So I need to, what would you recommend? Like, where do you make your mixings of music? Like, if I started somewhere to experiment, where did you make that? Like, I don't even know how to
The
do that.
easiest, most basic space that I find to start with, if that everybody usually has access to, is, and it's going to sound maybe cheesy and dinky, but it's not. It can be really beautiful, and then you can adapt and grow bigger. But voice memo on your phone can be fantastic. Get in a closet or somewhere that's really quiet. Some people will go to a vacant area and be in their car and turn the car off because that really cuts down on everything. Non movement is key. So position the phone somewhere near you, but where you don't have to touch it and you can keep your body completely still. Um, and just record, and then you can play with it, listen back. Oh, you know what? I should have been further away from it. Or, you know what? It sounds better if I'm a little softer with the speaking or the tone or the flute or whatever it is you're doing. Um, but
With
I
the,
take,
like with the mixing though, like when you made these
okay. Yeah.
chords.
So I make stuff on my phone with voice memo, or now I have my Shure mic, which is a lovely mic. It's just Shure, Sure. I love it.
Mm,
And I also have a Yeti mic. It's very nice as well. But I upload the audios or download the audios, whatever words you say. I'm not super tech savvy. I put them on my computer, and then I use Moavi, I think it's called. It's a movie editing system, but you can make audios on it. And I also use iMovie because I have a Mac. They're
mhm.
both good. Mac is super easy for me, but Moavi gives me more choices. Yeah, so you can overlay. So, like, say you made one long thing of you playing. Will you play the flute?
Mhm.
Okay. So, say you made one, like, and I'm just going to put this out there to you. You do whatever you want. But I have you ever played from your soul without music?
I do it sometimes, and that's something I want to do more, like channeling. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I see you doing, and just play. Just make the connective intention that
Mhm.
whatever I'm playing, you can be very specific too. I do this with my work. I want this to assist in whatever way for anyone that meets it. Or you could be so specific that you say, I want this to help heal anxiety, right?
Mm,
Really, really specific. And then you just take like 2 or 3 deep breaths before you start. So you're really allowing yourself to anchor into what's going to come through you is the divine healing of anxiety. Okay. That's what you're going to do. You're going to channel it. And it's because you are that space of the divine in this format. So you have every right and every ability to open up the door and bring forth that space. Christ did this. So then you play and you play and you play and you record. And then you take that and you put it into, I can send you a link to the Moavi, the one I like the most. You put it in, and it's super easy to put it in because once it's saved on your desktop or in your files, if you open up Moavi, it'll have it where you just you hit like start new project and then you just drag it in. If I can learn, dear Lord, you can learn. So you drag it in and then it pops it in there, and it just looks like this long band of music, right? Then you can, if you wanted to, just leave it like that, or you could add, like, say you want raindrops. I mean, you can download. I use Epidemic Sound
mhm.
for all my music, and I pay for the commercial rights so I can sell.
That's good.
But like I use thunder, heartbeats, underwater sounds, whales. I use all kinds of things. It's fun, and
Yeah.
you can place them in there wherever your intuition is telling you to place them. And then if you know, who knows what this turns into? Maybe it's just your music and that's the whole thing. Maybe it's some sound effects. Maybe it's also like in the very beginning, there's a Tibetan, bowl, gong, whatever. Maybe intermittently, there's your voice whispering some beautiful phrase that your soul knows they need to hear. You connect in, they're healing anxiety. Okay, what do I want to say? You are safe.
Mm,
Take a deep breath,
mm.
breathe, whatever. But does this make sense to you?
Yeah, thank you. It's just nice to hear what other people do. I've done a lot of research on it. I just need to get going to try it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you just try. See, I came in, I was 50 years old when I came into this space of learning Zoom and YouTube and Instagram. And I grew up in a generation that had nothing like this.
Yeah.
And I just kept, I was so excited to do what I do
Wow.
that I just did it. I never said, "Oh, I don't know how." I watch videos on YouTube, how to do this, how to do that. I have fun with it. I make mistakes. I lose complete things and all that. And then now remember next time, don't hit that button.
Yeah.
But but I know that it always ends up the way it's supposed to be. So it takes all the stress out when you really believe that. So,
I'm gonna give it a go. I definitely have a bunch of melodies I've recorded on voice memos that I want to record, a nicer soundtrack kind of thing. So I'm gonna go around with it. I might even buy some Chinese flutes. My friend has one, like ditzies. They're like Chinese, and I can make. Maybe I'll send you some stuff you can put in your recordings, and then
oh,
try or maybe get
yeah.
Indian flutes. I want to get one, so I need to start getting. Well, I'll start with mine for now, what I have, and then see where it goes. So.
I love that. That's beautiful. Yes, I think we're going to do something together. So,
Yeah.
and even if it's something that you want for like just getting yourself out there in the sense of like becoming comfortable with it, you could send me some stuff. I can put it in the background on some of mine. And then maybe we even did a YouTube video together if you're comfortable and could just talk about the creation of that and what yes, what it is offering, what it's offering, like healing of anxiety or whatever it is. Um, and then there could be like a link to if you're at that time having music available, or you have a website, or you have an Instagram, whatever it is, right? We could have a link to you as well in the description to bring people your way. Because my people are the kind of people that would like look for that kind of music. So
Yeah,
it,
I'm gonna send you, and you'll tell me what you think. I'll try to do this in the next few months. And also, I'd love to talk about on that video my experience with the Cosmo too, because then my people as well and other,
oh,
astrologers and music, they would benefit from your work definitely.
thank
We'll,
you.
we'll keep in touch too because the Life Tool School, we're still building it. We haven't featured anyone yet. We're just doing the courses that my boss does, but she's ready to bring other people on. And she has a big following, and they all are into these kinds of modalities. So it would be good to get it out there. So,
I love it. I love it. And I love the timing with the astrology side of it all. And I'm going to LA and like all these spaces are just opening, opening,
yeah,
opening.
thank
And
you.
you're leaning in, you're like, oh, I may make vibrational music.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, well, thank you because you're the third person to say that. And definitely, I'm actually going to do it. It will be on my main list of things I have to do in the next few months. Because a couple years ago, I went to my friend. She's psychic. We met through the one who studies with you, Marianne, or does your work. And so strange, we all met each other in synchronicity kind of moments. So we met this psychic girl, and she's like funny. She was like reading our energy and she's really good. But anyway, I had a session with her like weeks after that, and she said like, "I see you like healing people with your music." I
mm,
like didn't believe her at that time. I'm like, "What? That's not my style. I'm like just usually just playing with groups. You know what I mean? That's not my thing." But I've always kind of thought about that. And anyway, then I had a client a couple weeks ago, and he just is so fascinated with the reading. He keeps emailing me, sending me links to like hertz, like different frequencies. And
hmm,
he's like, you should do this. And I'm like, okay. And then now you today, like the past week or so, we've been talking about this. So then I'm like, all right, I have to do it. It's a third person.
yes, yes, yes. Listen, 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 for sure. That's beautiful. So as you're talking, I'm seeing a connective collab space. So, um, yeah, I'm excited. Create me something that I can make
Yeah,
something with. And
exactly.
that I could be the way that you tiptoe out or like jump out or cannonball out, whatever you want to call it, you know? Um,
Yeah, with it. You know what I mean? But it's true. Like, if I can come up with something that vibes, then you might channel something that people need to hear or something. So,
right. Like the
and
I can do the light language and the toning and all, but I can like produce it all together in one space. So even if you're getting different ones, send them. Like
yeah,
say one's more maybe Asian-y feel or something, and then maybe one's more sounds like you're in a church and you're doing a service in the church. You know, we're going to talk about Jesus, you know? I mean, send whatever you get though. Like don't judge it too much. And then I'll make it based on like what feels like the connection. Does that make sense?
you are an artist, I think, in your own sense. So I trust that. Yeah, you're so right though, because some of the things I was listening to, I felt expansive. There was one of
Mm.
them that's so wow, that shook me in your Cosma clips. And also the miracle one, I keep texting people. People love that one. That is so beautiful on YouTube. Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's important to get those aspects right because again, it's like angelic tones that are like triggering healing and expansiveness in
Mm.
people. There's like a
Yes.
there's a lot of contemporary music that's a little dark these days that's out there, to be honest. And you weren't allowed to
Yeah.
use a lot of these chords in history, like in Bach's time, like the tritone, it creates a really dissonance frequency. A lot
Yeah.
of people are using that in like contemporary music. Anyway, but it's fascinating channeling, and I'm going to start doing that because I think maybe I'll even compose like written music too. So,
I do think you will. Yes. And I do think there will be, yes, there will be an I don't know if this fits with what you're thinking right this minute, but it's flooding in a vision. There will be an orchestra one day, a full orchestra playing some piece you're writing. It's already written, but your hand of this now will put it in motion.
wow.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Yes. People will begin to, yes. Yes, humans are going to begin to be healed by musical cultural events they go to. Music in many spaces has held healing.
mhm.
I prefer classical music. I listen to it all the time in my car. I love Beethoven and various ones, but I don't study it. I'm just drawn to it. I do like rap. I do like me some good dance music. Yes, I know. I could be quite funny about it. I used to break dance in the 80s, you know. So I'm very versatile, but I know what you mean about I think, and I don't mean this in a judge way or a fear way, but I think somebody very smart and very clever and controlling implemented this not optimal frequency in everyday type of music. And I think that, it's all kind of connected with all the other stuff that's out there to uh, keep everything the way they want it. But then I think there's us, and I've been saying it for years. We are light, we are here. It's like my go-to tagline. And I think you're one of those lights, and the music you will write is going to bring forth balance.
I really appreciate that, definitely. And there's got to be more stuff coming in information wise too about the light codes, but also the music as well. Like maybe I'll channel in something like a book or something about the frequencies. Because there's something with Kabbalah and the frequencies too. Like I have to research all this. You know what I mean? There's something out there. Like I'm seeing numbers right now too, with like maybe even playing certain tones, and maybe those tones add up to certain numbers as well, like a
I
numeral.
like that.
You know what I mean? Um,
I love that. In almost every session I do. Well, all right, let's do this. 3 out of every 5, I don't know the statistics exactly. I get a numerical sequence for a client. I think that's cool. It just comes flooding in and it's like, 9 to 11 numbers maybe. And I'll just tell them. And some people will write it down or they'll make a bracelet with the beads, the numbers on the beads, or they'll say it every day.
yeah.
But I think it's packages of our higher mind. I think it's like within the number sequence, the vibration of the numbers, and in that space of specifics is like encoding a message of our own, yes, higher mind,
Yes.
for whatever we need right now. I also think we bring it to ourselves in sacred geometry. I get that a lot in sessions as well. I see sacred geometry just coming into the person.
Yeah, well, that like I forget his name, something man, something Venusian man or whatever is it's like a picture of him with his arms out. He looks like a star, and
Mm.
literally we are a star. When you put your arms out and your legs out, we look like a star.
Yes, yes, yes.
Interesting. Numerology is very fun. You could try out if you add your numbers up of your birthday and then find out what number that is. I'm a nine, and nine is all about like wisdom. You just add your birthday up,
I
and
added my birthday, so I am a 7.
seven. Oh my God! Wow. I mean, it makes sense. So many psychics or so many spiritual leaders with that. I know. So, I just did a reading yesterday for a seven. Um, yeah, that's a very spiritual number. Yeah, all of them are very well. They go through a lot in a sensitive way, like an emotional way in their life. They feel a lot. You know what I mean? That's a very wise number. It's the most intuitive one. Just the energy of the frequency, the tapping in. Another technique you can do is you can add it across with the year. Like you keep the year, you add your January plus the date, and that's called your critical year. So that is like a big turning point in people's years, in people's lives.
Oh, so
So you add
you take the year you're in or the year of your birth?
the year of your birth, 19, whatever it is, plus one, then plus the days, whatever the days are. What day are you born?
6.
Six. Oh, so your critical year was like when you were very young, something.
Make that would make sense to me.
Was there something
Yes.
big that happened at that age or a turning point? It could be difficult, but
Yes, no, well, when I was born, I couldn't walk, and I almost died when I was 2, and then I almost died again when I was 3. And um yes. I when you said young, I was like, yeah, I could see that. But it kind of felt like to me once I got past
Mhm.
very young, once I was like headed to 10 maybe or so, it kind of felt like just everything just opened up. Like whatever had to happen, like happened very, very early on.
Exactly. You know that they say in Kabbalah, the person is still living from the previous incarnation because
Mm.
they say that God holds the child the first 7 years of their life. And then the creator kind of lets go. You know, by the age of 11 they can get like not manipulated, but they get other points of views. So like the purity is, we want to keep the purity there, but it gets other influences. The creator kind of lets its hands go of the baby. But that's so interesting. So because your critical year was so young, it was like a difficult period, your early life, but you worked through that.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because I've heard so many people say, people that do what I do, they'll say, oh, they usually always have really a big space to work through. You know, they have something really big that happens to them or something. And
Yeah.
I always, early on though, I felt like, hmm, is there, I don't have a big space. But it was so early that my I guess remembrance or focus on it is different, I think, personally, because it was so early. You know, it's not like it happened to me 5 years ago or something.
Yeah, yeah. That's a very interesting case. You never hear that too. That's very unique. Um, wow, that's fascinating.
I am an interesting one. My mother is still alive. My father is not, but my mother, she used to walk me around the house when I was little, like wasn't speaking yet, and she would say everybody's names for the pictures on the wall. She had all the family. Dada, Mama, Sissy, Uncle Bill, whatever it was. And she had a picture of Jesus. So she'd say all these names all the time. So she says my first word was Jesus, but I know that it was also probably because she kept showing me him and telling me his name. But I guess she goes, yes, but you could have said Dada, you could have said Mama. She
Yeah.
says, you said Jesus. So,
Oh my God. Wow.
and I'm born on the 6th, which is Epiphany. That's the day of the three kings when they found, took the oils and the gifts to Christ. So it's cool. It's really cool. I love to think about it and talk about it.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And that day of being born, there is a significance to the coming in at that time. You know what I
Mm.
mean? There is a strong that energy of that is like big, you know? So that is so interesting. You would really like Kabbalah, not to put it on you like a Jehovah, but you would really like it. I even have the one here, like the Zohar. It's like so fascinating because it's older than, oh my God, it's a little dusty. That's not good, but I'm gonna dust it off. But it's really interesting. It's an Aramaic, so I mean, this is quite old, but it's so
Wow.
the natural laws and this and just the information is just wild. I mean, there's a lot of information in there. It's literally cosmic law. Like it came
Oh,
it says a lot. Sometimes it's a little bit interesting, like, not hocus pocus, but like you would never want to drink. It says in the Zohar, you never want to drink from a waterfall because spirits hang out there. Like, you'd have to be careful. It's like weird things they say like this, like, a spirit can jump through the water. Water is a vessel for energy to come through, it's a cleansing element. So it's just little things that are interesting in the thing, and even how to take care of your animals, like your pets, because dogs have a different karma. It's just a little different than religion practices. It has lots of interesting ideas that we just don't think about. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But they say in it like never have a meal with a negative person because like
Mm.
you absorb their negativity. It's very wise. Like you're not taught this when you're young. So I love the spiritual wisdom. Uh,
Yes.
so
Yeah. Sounds like very deep interconnection with the understanding of energy and consciousness.
exactly. It's not like a pushing kind of thing. It's just very opening the mind, and it's a tool for expansiveness. So,
And I love when you said the thing about water is you used a certain word. Water is a like way and something's carried.
yeah, it conducts like energy and it holds on to things and memory as well. It holds on to.
Well, and I teach on water in AQE. We do a whole 3 weeks on the waters of the body and how they're programmed. Yes. And we talked about Dr. Emoto's experiments. If you've ever seen them on YouTube, they're very, very interesting and fascinating that it's programmable. But I was just thinking about how when a woman gives birth, the water breaks and flows out, and then the baby comes forth. And I just thought about what you said, and I was like, oh, that's so beautiful. Like, even there, the water is
Yeah,
flowing as the light, the soul is coming into the world.
exactly. And it's one of the best cleansing elements. Like when you take a shower, it's like that's why people feel better after a shower because it's lightly cleaning the aura, you know?
I love it. Yeah.
Mikvah, but people say they're very good. Like Jesus used to do mikvahs. I need to get into that. It's always recommended to go in there and clean with a very high quality water. But anyway, you could do it at home. Like I do the essential oils, like you did the blessings of the energy centers. I need to do that more often, but I put it in the bath and I feel
Oh,
much
yeah.
when I have that because you smell it all night and you sleep better, uh,
Yes.
healing. So anyway, I'm going to keep up with these things. Yeah.
I've been adorning my body with oils religiously. We'll use that word, even though I'm not religious, right? Funny little enlightenment joke. I've been adorning my body with oils every single day for probably 3 or 4 months now. I started doing it because I just intuitively was like, I'm going to put some of this on me. And then I just was like, it smells so nice. And I felt uplifted and I felt like my cells were actually turning on a little bit more or something. So then I started doing it more and more. And there's not a day that goes by. Sometimes I do it 2 or 3 times a day. I just like when I'm and get up in the morning or then I come in the afternoon to do something. Whenever I do, I do. But I just really think they're helping us like way beyond even just like the energy blessing, but like the cells and um there's all these molecules in the oils. They're the plant blood basically, and then we're putting it on our body, and I think it really is we're designed for that interconnectivity, and I think they're helping us heal and be optimal. So I really love it. I love right now, I can't get enough of cedar wood. I've been using that a lot, which is supposed to be phenomenal for anxiety and clear thought, a lot of
Yeah.
other things as well. But cedar wood, I just put it behind my ears and on my neck. And I love rose oil. Had a client sent me a bottle of rose oil from Oregon or Washington, somewhere over there. Um, those are my favorites right now. But I have peppermint in my shower because it just seems to open the space up when you have that steam and that peppermint.
I've been
What
using this geranium oil, I think, which is very good.
I love that one. I've used geranium before. That's lovely.
Yeah, geranium. It's good for sexual healing, but yeah, there's some nice things to do. I think I need to get more in a routine with it though. I kind of do it like once a week. It's something that would be good to do every day, I think. Uh,
It's so simple, even if you're not doing all the spaces, to simply take the little bottle, put it on your finger, and just say, I bless thee, I bless thee, I bless thee, and walk along, you
exactly.
know?
Yeah, yeah, it's smart. It's fantastic. Yeah.
So you're going to write some music, maybe?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll just start with the voice memos and start getting ideas. And then I need to order a nice mic off of Amazon. Just to have like, I like to have the quality because the flute can be kind of like higher pitch. So it's different than the voice, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna start somewhere. There's this thing called Soundtrap. That's what I'm going to do as well. I used it a while ago, Soundtrap. I totally forgot about that. I made some recordings on there. I made like a bird piece on there. Really beautiful. I could send you at some point. Yeah, start doing that and then just keep doing what we're doing here. And I like the vibration I'm at. I'm going higher and higher. So
Oh, it's an honor to work with you. It's an honor to work with you. And I look forward to everything we do ahead of us as well. So, however this unfolds, music we create together, video content we could create together, and any spaces that you feel you want to align with me in the future. I'm right here. I'm right here.
I appreciate that so much, AL. And you can share anything. Like you can share any of these sessions, or if it helps people, I don't mind. Share the stories. I'll definitely be telling people about your work. You definitely need to go big. Like I can imagine the Acasma, like everyone. I can't imagine you helping every single person. I'm really exhausted. Um,
Well, that's why I think that's why we always do what we need to do. That's why I say trust yourself, because really we've got our back. But for 3 or 4 years now, I've been training people, and
oh
I've
yeah,
been creating teachers and creating facilitators. And so we have them in 7 different languages all across the planet. And I'm taking 7 of them with me to the expo. So I have 7 women meeting me there. And, well, they are also then, building their outreach and supporting the building of the general outreach as well. We've got a community built. We're on Discord. We've got our various pods of light, we call them, that are Acasma based, and I already have leaders that run them so that they're completely self-sufficient. But I pop in now and then, and so I mean, like, I think when I see all that, I'm like, wow, we really can trust ourselves, because I have been working with myself to create the space of the foundation, and then now go find the people, and if you build it, they will come. I've built it, right? So
excellent. I mean, I don't know where you put your courses, but you can look up Teachable. Teachable's pretty good. I think it's like 90 a month, but it's worth it. It's a nice place if you need a place to put all your courses. I don't know what you do for your courses, but um,
right now I have them on my website, and I have portals built. So like I have a product page where you buy the course you want, and then once you buy it, you receive an email with a password.
oh,
And the
perfect.
password, you go to the portal and you punch in the password, and it has all the videos, all the audios, all the notes, all the Zoom links. It's just all right there. And it also has a link to a chat group on the Discord server, so you can have that constant 24/7 check in, build community, all that kind of thing as well.
So you're all set up. That's really good. Yeah, you got to go on podcasts like and share and spread the word, with different people.
Well, if you know someone, tell them to hit me up. I'm ready to go.
And you also want the people to find it who are meant to find it. Like I found
Exactly.
friends
Yeah.
that has to be like someone who it's part of their path. But you can also look up udemy.com. I don't know if you know this, Udemy.
No.
Um, you don't have to do it, but there's so many courses on there. I took a Reiki course on there. It's more affordable for people to study, but they have like 300,000 students in one class.
Wow.
A new place where you can study anything like Kabbalah, human design, even, which is shocking, which is like $1,000 course, but now you can pay 100 to study it on Udemy. You can look it up, udemy.com,
Okay.
UDEY. But imagine a Cosmo on there. I mean, people would go crazy because they'd be like, "What is this?" So it's something to consider. But
Okay. Yeah, I love everything you share with me. I see it as an incredible blessing to receive your guidance. So thank you for it. Thank you.
thank you for everything. I'm so lucky. I mean, I had such a great time. So I
Oh, I
continue.
do too. All right, so we'll continue in various ways because this is just the beginning.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Safe travels. All right.
All right, thank you too, and blessings upon you and all you do, Holy One. Blessings.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.